Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Now, interesting stock levels continue to grow up to 6,777. That's up just over 10% to a month ago and up a whopping 100.9% compared to 12 months ago. So the figures keep climbing in terms of stock available and the numbers of sales are slowly getting lower. 658 for the week. Like I say, compare that to, say, 12 months ago, it was around the 900, even as much as 1,000. So we are seeing this difference. That's why the stock levels are growing, because obviously properties are taking longer to sell. Interesting, there's been a lot of talk about Sydney and Melbourne. There's talk about clearance rates in Sydney being around 50%, which means only 1 and 2 auctions are getting sold under the hammer. There is talk of no bidders at auctions. We're hearing that quite a bit as well. But that's the east, and of course WA is slightly different. But what we are seeing is numbers of people at home open certainly slipping and certainly down. People still out there, don't get me wrong, but I think they're probably exploring more than they've ever explored before. The phone inquiry rate is definitely lower than it has been across the range. But people are still out there, people still need to buy, and others still need to sell. One of the interesting thing for the sellers at the moment is they really need to probably explore the market a little bit more, and particularly in the agent that they pick. It's the matter of putting the sign out, just sticking on the internet. Those days are nearly probably over, unless you're an exceptional property. And don't get me wrong, some properties still sell fairly quickly, but in general, we are going to see it take longer. Your agent's ability to negotiate is going to be really, really important. When owners decide or start to think about selling their properties, a few different stages they go. First one is think, I might think about moving, maybe in a year or two, maybe in 6 months, whatever it is. And then the next stage that most sellers go to is explore and fact find. So they may get 1 or 2 appraisals in, start reading the internet a little bit more, see what's going on, may even call into a few home opens themselves. And then for the information that they get, they then sit back and start to analyse and see if it suits their situation. So they may find the place that they may want to move to, start doing the mathematics around that. And then it comes decision time. And that's when it gets down to sort of deciding who they're really going to trust to represent them in the field, who's got the right strategy and certainly got their goals in line. Now, they may put it on pause as well. So they may pause it and then have to repeat the cycle all over again 3-6 months later. In other words, do a revision. So that's the sort of market we're in at the moment. I think we're going to have people pausing quite a bit, trying to work out which direction the market is going, whether it benefits them or whether it's basically the same. If you're trading up, trading down, it's sort of similar type of thing. Probably the benefit, if some areas soften a little bit, you may save a bit on stamp duty. But overall, the pricing hasn't really dropped as such, but it's the overall interest that has dropped. It's just taking longer to sell. All the best. Catch up. Talk to you next week.